The scanners had stopped moving, and the entire bridge of the reconnaissance ship fell into a tense silence. Every officer stared at the central display, their faces pale under the harsh red light of the alert system. It was supposed to be a routine scan of the neighboring sector, just a standard check of uncharted star systems. But the readings were anything but normal. Lieutenant Kalen's hands trembled slightly as he adjusted the magnification on the scanner feed. "Sir, you need to see this," he said, voice barely above a whisper. Commander Terav moved closer, his eyes narrowing as he studied the holographic projection. Hundreds of points of light moved in formations that defied known physics. At first glance, it looked like a massive fleet, but the movement was too precise, too coordinated. Every ship, no matter its size, seemed to react before the others, like they were connected by a single mind. The bridge went silent again. Even the background hum of the engines seemed distant, swallowed by the tension. Kalen's heart pounded as he tapped the console, zooming in. The closer he looked, the more impossible the formation became. Each vessel was shaped like nothing humanity had ever seen. Sharp angles, glowing edges, and engines that left trails of energy that bent light around them. "Commander, these aren't just ships," Kalen said, voice shaking. "They're scanning everything, and not just scanning, they're analyzing." Terav's jaw tightened. He had seen strange alien vessels before, but never anything like this. Something about these ships screamed danger. Not the typical aggression of a hostile fleet, but the quiet, almost clinical precision of a predator observing its prey. Across the bridge, Communications Officer Rena tried to hail any nearby allies, but her console flashed empty. "No response from any sector," she said, a note of panic creeping into her voice. "It's like they're here alone, and everyone else is blind." The scanners suddenly blinked, a flurry of new data pouring in. Kalen's stomach dropped. "Sir, their energy readings, they're adapting. Every shield, every weapon, even the ship's layout, it's changing as we scan it." Terav's fingers gripped the edge of the command chair. "Are you saying they're learning from us?" "Not learning, predicting," Kalen said. "Before we even make a move, they already know what we'll do." A cold silence fell. The kind of silence that made every breath feel heavy. Outside the viewports, the stars seemed to stretch endlessly, but the sense of being watched made the void feel smaller, suffocating. Then the first message arrived. Not from another ship, not from a human fleet, but directly on their secure channel. It was a simple line of text, repeated over and over in every language the ship could translate. "You are observed. Resistance is irrelevant." The words made the room shiver. Terav slammed his fist against the console. "Prepare weapons. Scan for weak points. We are not irrelevant." Kalen shook his head. "Sir, I don't think you understand. This isn't a threat in the usual sense. They aren't trying to destroy us, at least, not yet. They're evaluating, measuring, deciding." Even as he spoke, the fleet outside shifted again. It moved closer, but slower this time, almost lazily, yet every motion was perfect, calculated. Each ship's glow pulsed in a pattern that seemed like communication. But no sound. No signals humans could detect. Rena's hands were shaking as she prepared a defensive matrix. "Commander, if they want to destroy us, it will be instant. We won't even know it's coming." Terav turned to the crew, eyes blazing with determination. "Then we do the impossible. We act first. Humanity has never backed down. We won't start now." The bridge crew exchanged nervous glances. None of them had ever faced anything like this. Yet, in the pit of fear, a spark of human resolve ignited. They had trained for battles against known enemies, not something that could predict their every move, but humans had a way of surviving the impossible. As the red alert siren screamed, the mysterious fleet stopped in perfect formation, almost like it was waiting. Terav knew this was more than a simple encounter. This was the beginning of a test. A test that humanity did not know it could survive. And yet, the first human warship to respond in this sector was not afraid. Not fully. Somewhere deep inside, they knew that humanity had a history of turning the tables on far stronger enemies. The scanners beeped again, faster this time. Kalen stared at the display, a cold sweat running down his face. "Sir, they've opened a channel directly into our tactical core." The bridge went completely silent. Then, a voice, distorted, mechanical, but somehow human-like, echoed through every console. "We have finished scanning. Humanity, you are red alert." Every officer froze. Every heartbeat seemed to echo in the void. Humanity was no longer just a species in the galaxy. It was a variable. A threat. A factor that could not be ignored. And the universe had just noticed. The warning still echoed through the bridge when Tarav's eyes darted to the tactical display. Every sensor, every scanner, every satellite in the nearby systems was lighting up in red. Humanity's presence had triggered something vast, something ancient, and the crew felt it in their bones. "We need to move," Tarav said, voice calm but urgent. "Plot a course to the nearest human outpost. We need allies, fast." Kalen shook his head, fingers flying over the console. "Sir, the fleet is already predicting our moves. Every jump we try, they block. Every signal we send, they intercept. It's like they're inside the ship, seeing everything." Rena swallowed hard. "If they can do that, we can't hide. Not even for a second." Outside the viewports, the alien ships shimmered in the void. They weren't firing yet, but the pressure was unbearable. Each vessel's glow changed color, pulsing in rhythm with something the crew could not understand. Even the stars seemed dimmer, as if the fleet absorbed light itself. Tarav clenched his jaw. "Then we fight smart. We don't run. We survive by thinking like them, or better." The crew prepared the ship's defenses, but even the engineers looked unsure. Every shield, every weapon was tested against human standards, but these ships were beyond comprehension. The energy fields they emitted warped space around them. Lasers, missiles, even EMPs bounced uselessly or were absorbed entirely. "Sir," Kalen whispered, "I think they're studying us for weaknesses, yes, but also patterns. Habits. They know what scares us, what motivates us. Every fear, every instinct, it's in their data now." Tarav's eyes narrowed. He had faced impossible odds before, but never like this. The universe had creatures that were stronger, faster, smarter, but none had ever seemed to understand humanity the way these ships did. A sudden alarm blared. On the main display, a planet flashed with white-hot light. A probe had just been launched from the alien fleet, moving faster than any known propulsion system. It skimmed the atmosphere, analyzing every continent, every settlement. Rena's voice trembled. "Commander, that probe, it's heading to Earth." Tarav's heart stopped for a moment. Earth. Home. Humanity's cradle. If these beings were already probing the planet, then this was no random encounter. This was a prelude to something much larger, something catastrophic. Kalen turned to Tarav, voice urgent. "Sir, we can't just react. We have to make a move they don't expect. Something completely unpredictable. Otherwise, we're finished before the first shot is fired." Tarav took a deep breath, staring at the alien formation. He knew this was more than a battle. It was a test, a challenge. And humans were never known to back down from a challenge. "Prepare the decoys," Tarav ordered. "Launch the auxiliary craft, scatter the sensors. We'll give them a fight, but on our terms, even if just a little." The bridge crew scrambled. Every officer knew the odds were slim. But there was something in the human spirit that refused to bow down. Even when facing a fleet that could predict their every action, they had hope. And hope, sometimes, it was the deadliest weapon of all. As the decoys launched, the alien fleet shifted. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, but every movement was precise. Kalen's hands flew over the controls, monitoring their response. They reacted instantly, faster than any human mind could calculate. Yet, Tarav had noticed a small irregularity. A single pulse in their energy signature, out of rhythm with the rest. "That's it," Tarav whispered. "A flaw. One tiny flaw. They're not perfect. Nothing is perfect." For the first time since the fleet appeared, a spark of confidence spread through the bridge. Humans had survived worse, fought harder, and faced enemies that should have crushed them. And maybe, just maybe, this was another chance to prove that. But even as they prepared for the first strike, a new alert flashed. Another message, this time more detailed. It scrolled across every console, in every language. "You think you have a flaw. We have calculated 10,000 outcomes. Yet, curiosity is noted. Engage if you dare. Red alert, humanity confirmed." The words made the bridge shiver. They were a warning and a challenge, all at once. And somewhere deep inside, the crew understood the truth. Whatever this fleet wanted, it would not stop. Humanity was now in the galaxy's spotlight, and the eyes watching them were hungry for answers. Tarav stood, eyes blazing. "Then we give them an answer, in the only way they will understand. Humans fight. Humans survive. And humans will not surrender." The bridge erupted into controlled chaos. Every crew member moved with precision, launching systems, scanning, preparing. Outside, the alien fleet pulsed and shimmered, waiting. The first battle was coming, and humanity's fate hung in the balance. Somewhere beyond the stars, a force had awakened, and it had marked humanity. And now, there was no turning back. The decoys had barely cleared the ship when the alien fleet reacted. Like a living organism, it split, sending streams of glowing vessels to intercept the false signals. The main fleet held its formation, each ship moving with terrifying precision, but something strange happened. The single pulse Tarav had noticed in Part 2 grew stronger. "Sir," Kalen said, pointing at the tactical display, "they're focusing on the decoys. That pulse, it's a response to our maneuver. They're analyzing us even more closely." Tarav leaned forward. "Good. Let them waste time. Now we strike." He ordered the launch of the ship's experimental pulse cannon, a weapon never tested in real combat. It emitted a wave of energy designed to scramble sensors and confuse predictive systems. The cannon charged slowly, the hum vibrating through the deck. Every officer held their breath. "Firing in 3, 2, 1. Tarav's voice cut through the tension. The cannon released a surge of energy that rippled across space. The alien fleet faltered, just for a moment, but it was enough. Kalen's eyes widened. "Sir, it worked. They're reacting slower. Just a little, but it's enough." Outside, the ships shimmered, pulses of energy distorting the view. The decoys darted past the enemy lines, drawing fire away from the main ship. Tarav felt a spark of hope, small, fragile, but hope nonetheless. Then the first counterstrike came. One of the alien ships had broken formation, targeting a human colony in the nearby system. Its energy beams burned brighter than anything humanity had ever seen, cutting through atmosphere and defenses like paper. Rena gasped. "They're attacking the planet. We can't let them destroy it." Tarav's jaw tightened. "Kalen, plot an intercept course. We protect the colony, no matter what. That is the human way." The ship surged forward, engines screaming as it pushed past normal limits. The crew gritted their teeth, knowing they were going into the unknown. Every sensor blinked warnings, but Tarav ignored them. There was no time for caution. As they approached the alien ship, something even stranger happened. Its glow shifted, pulsing faster than before, almost like a heartbeat. Then, in a voice that was part machine, part something else, it spoke, through the ship's communication system, cutting through every channel. "You interfere. Curiosity noted. Survival unlikely." The words made the crew stiffen. But Tarav felt the familiar fire rising. Humans did not flee, even when the impossible loomed over them. "No," he said, voice firm. "Humans survive. Humans fight. And we do not surrender." The pulse cannon fired again, and this time, it struck the alien ship directly. The impact sent a ripple through its energy shields, distorting its shape for the first time. The ship wobbled, unsteady, before regaining composure. Kalen stared at the readouts. "Sir, I don't believe it. They're adapting, slower than before. We're forcing them to react, not predict." Rena smiled, despite the chaos. Maybe they don't have every answer." Terav nodded, but his mind raced. This battle had just begun, and the alien fleet was still massive, still deadly, and still calculating everything humanity could do. But for the first time, he saw a glimmer of possibility. They could survive. They could fight back. The alien ship launched smaller probes, trying to flank the human vessel. But the crew had learned quickly. Decoys, pulse blasts, sudden course changes, every move pushed the aliens into reaction mode. And then, the first human weapon made contact. A small strike, barely noticeable against the alien hull, but it hit something vital. The ship shuddered, and the pulse of its energy flickered in a way no one had seen before. "Sir, we hit them," Kalen whispered, disbelief in his voice. "We actually hit them." Terav's eyes burned with determination. "Good. This is the start. The start of humanity showing that we are not irrelevant. That we fight. That we survive. That we win." Outside, the stars seemed brighter for a moment. The alien fleet still loomed, immense and terrifying. But the humans had made the first move. And in the vast, cold galaxy, sometimes the first move was everything. And so, the battle began, not just for survival, but for recognition. Humanity was no longer invisible, no longer ignored. And the universe would remember the name of those who refused to bow. The alien fleet shimmered like a living storm, but the human ship had tasted success. The pulse cannon strike had forced the first reaction, a small victory, but Terav knew it was only the beginning. Every moment mattered, every choice could mean life or annihilation. "Sir, the fleet is splitting," Kalen said, eyes glued to the tactical display. "Half of them are surrounding us. The rest, they're moving toward Earth." Terav's jaw tightened. "Then we divide too. We protect the colony, and we keep the fleet busy. Every second we buy counts." Rena's hands flew over her console. "Sir, sensors are detecting new patterns. They're no longer predicting, they're experimenting. Each ship is trying different formations, changing tactics in real time." Terav leaned forward, gripping the edge of his chair. "Then we do the same. Humans adapt fast. They may calculate 1,000 steps ahead, but they can't predict instinct." The crew executed complex maneuvers, zigzagging through the void, sending decoys, launching electronic pulses, and firing energy blasts. Each move forced the alien ships to react, their perfection slightly faltering. Small gaps appeared in their formations, and the humans struck. "Sir, we're slowing them down," Kalen shouted, pointing to the display. "Every strike we make, they hesitate for microseconds. Enough to survive, maybe even counterattack." But the alien fleet was relentless. New energy pulses hit the human ship's shields, shaking the hull. The bridge lights flickered, alarms blared, and Rena's voice trembled. They're testing our defenses. Every shield, every weapon. They know exactly how far we can push." Terav's eyes narrowed. "Then we push farther. They haven't seen human unpredictability yet." The human vessel surged forward, engines screaming, weaving between the alien ships like a predator in a storm. For a brief moment, it was chaos, light flaring, energy beams colliding, and the void itself seemed to bend under the conflict. Then the aliens changed tactics completely. A massive ship, far larger than any in the fleet, detached from the formation. Its energy signature was unlike anything humanity had recorded. The pulse of its shields flickered with every beat, as if alive. "Sir, that ship," Kalen said, eyes wide. It's not just a vessel. It's a command core. If we can't stop it, the rest will crush us." Terav took a deep breath. Then we go for it. All firepower. Every decoy, every pulse, every cannon. Hit it before it adapts fully. The human ship roared toward the massive alien core, dodging streams of energy that bent space itself. The bridge shook violently, and sparks flew from consoles. Rena shouted, trying to coordinate the attacks. Every officer was focused, tense, but determined. As they closed in, the alien core pulsed rapidly, sending a wave of energy across the battlefield. The humans felt it in their bones, a pressure that seemed to reach into their minds. Panic rose, but Terav's voice cut through it. Hold focus. This is humanity's moment. We do not give in. The first strike landed, energy cannons hitting the alien core's shield. The shield wavered, shimmering violently, then stabilized. Again, the humans struck. Again, they forced a reaction. Small cracks appeared in the core's energy field, barely noticeable, but real. Kalen's eyes lit with hope. Sir, we're breaking it. Just a little, but we are. The bridge crew cheered quietly, hearts racing. For the first time, they realized something profound. No matter how advanced the enemy, humans had one advantage: courage. Instinct. The refusal to give in. Outside, the stars were alive with the battle. Pulses of energy, streams of light, and the hum of engines filled the void. Humanity had made the first real dent in the alien fleet's perfection. But Terav knew this was only the beginning. The alien command corps was adapting, and soon it would retaliate in a way the humans had never faced before. The red alert sirens screamed again. The aliens had noticed the threat to their command. And now, the universe itself seemed to pause, watching humanity challenge a power that had never been questioned. Terav clenched his fists. We fight. We survive. And no matter what comes next, humans do not bow. Prepare for their next move, and make it count. The battle was far from over. Humanity had survived the first storm, but the alien fleet was learning, evolving, and closing in. The real test of human resolve, the test of every skill, every instinct, every ounce of courage, was about to begin. And somewhere deep in the void, the alien fleet pulsed, calculating, waiting, and deciding. How far would humanity fight before it could be crushed? The alien command corps pulsed with an eerie glow, its energy waves rippling through space like a heartbeat. Every pulse sent shivers down the human ship's hull, rattling consoles and shaking the crew's nerves. Terav knew this was no ordinary battle. It was a test of human will, endurance, and courage. Sir, Kalen said, eyes wide, the core, it's adapting faster than we can track. Every attack we make, it anticipates. It's learning from us, adjusting instantly. Terav gritted his teeth. Then we do the one thing it cannot predict. Humans improvise. Humans fight instinctively. We hit it where it won't expect. Rena's hands flew over the controls, activating the auxiliary drones. Decoys in position, sir. Ready to distract its sensors. We have one chance to get through. The human vessel surged forward, weaving between energy pulses that bent space. The decoys darted like sparks of light, drawing fire away from the main ship. The core's shields shimmered violently, absorbing some hits, deflecting others. But cracks appeared, small, almost imperceptible, yet real. Focus fire on the gaps, Terav ordered. Every cannon, every pulse. We cannot waste this chance. The bridge shook as the human ship released its full arsenal. Energy beams collided with the alien shields, causing bursts of light and vibrations that rattled the entire deck. The command core flickered, its perfect energy pattern breaking in tiny segments. Sir, it's responding unpredictably. Kalen shouted. The core is adapting, but it's unstable. Terav's heart pounded. That's our chance. Push forward. Strike before it stabilizes. The crew moved like a single organism, each officer focused, each action precise. Humanity had trained for impossible missions before, but nothing had prepared them for this. Yet, every instinct, every ounce of courage, fueled their moves. Then it happened. The first major breach. A powerful energy pulse from the human ship struck the command core directly. For a heartbeat, the core's glow faltered, and its energy waves wavered like a broken rhythm. "Sir, we did it!" Rena yelled, disbelief and joy mixing in her voice. "The core, it's weakened." But the alien fleet reacted instantly. Smaller ships swarmed to protect the core, energy pulses firing with deadly accuracy. The human vessel rocked under the bombardment. "Brace for impact!" Terev shouted, gripping the command chair. "We hold this line. We finish the strike." The bridge trembled violently as the human ship unleashed another pulse. This time, the impact hit multiple ships in the alien formation. Energy shields flickered, some smaller vessels were destroyed, and for the first time, the aliens wavered. Kalen's eyes gleamed. "They're not invincible, sir. Every strike, every move, it's working." Terev's gaze hardened. Humanity had survived, yes, but more importantly, they had shown resistance. The alien fleet had calculated, anticipated, and adapted, but humans had done the unexpected. A sudden alert flashed. A new wave of alien ships emerged from behind a dark nebula. The humans had not seen them coming. The bridge went tense. "Sir," Rena said, voice trembling. "Another wave. They're reinforcing the core. We might not hold them alone." Terev stood tall, determination blazing. "Then we make history. Humans fight when the odds are impossible. We do not surrender. We survive. And we make them remember us." The pulse cannon charged again, glowing brighter than ever. The human ship lunged forward, decoys darting, engines screaming, shields flaring. Outside, the stars lit up in bursts of energy, fire, and light. The alien command core pulsed, trying to stabilize, but the human strike had forced it into chaos. "Prepare for direct engagement," Terev ordered. "We are humanity. We do not flee. We do not bow. And we will not die here." As the human ship moved closer, the crew felt a singular truth. No matter how advanced the enemy, no matter how perfect their calculations, they had underestimated one thing: human courage, human instinct, human defiance. And in the vast, silent expanse of space, something ancient and powerful was learning a new truth: humanity could not be ignored. Humanity could not be calculated. Humanity could not be broken. The battle had reached a turning point. One strike, one moment, one human choice could decide the fate of the galaxy. And the human crew was ready to make it count. The alien command core pulsed violently, its energy field flickering in response to the human strikes. For the first time, it seemed uncertain. The fleet around it hesitated, breaking formation, their perfect coordination faltering. Terev's eyes narrowed. This was the moment humanity had been waiting for. "Sir, the core's shields are weakening faster than we expected," Kalen said, voice tight with excitement. "If we push now, we can take it down." Terev clenched his fists. "Then we push. All weapons. Every pulse, every cannon, every decoy. Nothing holds us back." The human ship surged forward. Engines screamed, lights flaring as the pulse cannon charged to its maximum. Decoys darted in every direction, drawing the alien ships away from the main vessel. The bridge vibrated under the stress, alarms screaming, but the crew moved with perfect focus. Rena's hands flew over the controls. "We're in position, sir." The gap in their formation, it's enough for a full strike. Terev nodded. "Fire everything." Energy beams, missiles, and pulses launched simultaneously, hitting the core from all directions. The alien shields flickered violently, and then, something unprecedented happened. A shockwave rippled through the fleet. Smaller alien ships were thrown off course, collisions sparked, and several vessels were destroyed. The command core itself wavered, its glow stuttering like a dying heartbeat. Kalen's eyes widened. "Sir, we're destabilizing it. Their formation is collapsing." But the aliens weren't finished. A sudden pulse erupted from the core, sending a wave of energy directly at the human ship. The hull shuddered, consoles sparking, and the bridge lights flickered. Crew members gripped rails, teeth gritted. "Steady!" Terav shouted. "This is their panic. They've never faced this before. Humans don't follow their rules." The human vessel dodged and weaved, using decoys and pulse waves to confuse the alien sensors. Every movement forced the alien fleet to react instead of anticipate. For the first time, humans had the initiative. "Sir, another message from the core," Rena said, voice shaking. It's different this time. More urgent." On the displays, the text scrolled in every language, glowing red. "You are not to survive. But this is unexpected. Humanity, unpredictable. Evade or perish." Terav's jaw tightened. "Good. Let them panic. Let them fear what they cannot control. Focus fire." The crew unleashed a coordinated strike, targeting weak points in the remaining alien formation. One by one, the smaller ships fell, and the command core itself shuddered violently. Sparks of energy tore across its surface, and the once perfect fleet became chaotic, disorganized, vulnerable. Kalen let out a breath he hadn't realized he was holding. "Sir, they're breaking. We're doing it. We're actually doing it." Terav's eyes burned with determination. "Not yet. We finish the core. Humanity does not leave threats unfinished." The human ship charged one final time, engines roaring, shields flaring, pulse cannon glowing brighter than ever. Every weapon struck the command core at once. Energy cascaded, shields shattered, and the alien fleet trembled under the assault. Outside, the void exploded in light. For the first time, the human crew saw the impossible, alien perfection breaking, chaos spreading through the fleet. Humanity had forced an outcome that no calculation had predicted. Terav stood, voice firm, eyes blazing. "Humans survive. Humans fight. And we will not be ignored. Remember this, in every corner of the galaxy." The command core pulsed once more, then erupted in a blinding flash. The shockwave threw the remaining alien vessels off course. They scattered into the void, disoriented and silent. The red alert sirens finally stopped. The bridge was tense but victorious. The human ship floated amidst the wreckage, battered but unbroken. For the first time in centuries, humanity had faced a foe that could predict everything, and proved that instinct, courage, and defiance were stronger than perfection. Somewhere beyond the stars, the galaxy had witnessed something new, a species that could not be calculated, a species that refused to bow. Humanity had survived the impossible, and the universe would never forget it. Terav turned to his crew, voice steady but full of awe. "We have won today, but this is only the beginning. Humanity is awake. Humanity is alive. And the galaxy will learn to fear the red alert." The alien fleet had scattered, their once perfect formation broken, leaving only fragments drifting in space. The human ship floated among the wreckage, battered, glowing from exhausted engines and energy surges, yet victorious. Terav looked around the bridge, eyes burning with pride. Every officer had survived, every human heart had endured, and every ounce of courage had been tested. "Sir," Kalen said, still staring at the tactical display. "The fleet, it's not just broken. They're fleeing. I've never seen any enemy retreat like this." Terav nodded slowly. "Good. Let them learn what it means to underestimate humanity." But as the crew began repairs and tended to minor injuries, the sensors picked up something unexpected. Far beyond the battlefield, deep in uncharted space, a massive energy signature pulsed in rhythm. It was larger than the command core they had just destroyed. Its scale, terrifying. Rena's voice trembled. "Sir, another core. Even bigger. And it's moving toward Earth." Terav's jaw clenched. So this was just the first wave. The galaxy thought we were irrelevant, but they miscalculated. Humanity has survived the test. And now, they face the consequence. The crew watched in awe as the remaining alien ships regrouped, trying to rally around the new core. But humanity had already proven something vital. They could adapt, improvise, and strike fear into even the most perfect enemy. Kalen leaned closer to the display. "Sir, our scans show something strange. The alien ships, they're not just retreating. They're avoiding our fleet. They're afraid." Terav allowed himself a small, rare smile. "Good. Let them fear humanity. Let them remember the species that will not bow, will not surrender, and will survive against all odds." Rena wiped sweat from her forehead, finally allowing herself a laugh. "We did it. Humanity survived. We actually survived." Terav looked out the viewport, seeing the stars stretch endlessly. "No," he said softly, almost to himself. "Humanity didn't just survive. Humanity proved something no one can ignore. We are the Red Alert. We are the species the galaxy must respect, or fear." The alien fleet, now scattered and hesitant, sent out one final message, broadcast in a dozen languages and symbols. It wasn't a threat, not entirely. It was an acknowledgement. Humanity, acknowledged. Not irrelevant. Red Alert, confirmed. Further observation required. A hush fell across the bridge. Even in victory, the words carried weight. The universe had noticed humanity. And now, every star system, every alien civilization, would know, humans were not to be dismissed. Humans were not to be predicted. Humans were to be reckoned with. Terav straightened, voice strong and unwavering. "Prepare to report back to Earth. Humanity has survived the impossible. Humanity has survived the Red Alert. And from now on, the galaxy will never forget our name." As the human ship plotted its course home, the crew allowed themselves a moment to breathe, to feel triumph, to feel fear fade into pride. They had faced the unknown, the impossible, and the unthinkable. They had stood against a power that calculated every move, and had survived. Somewhere beyond the stars, a force had awakened, and it had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humanity was not to be ignored, humanity could not be calculated, and humanity would fight, always, against all odds. And for the first time in countless centuries, the galaxy truly understood the meaning of the Red Alert.